Welcome reading too. You know, it's interesting. I don't think Spirit had me say this at the intro, but they had me do it in black and white because, love is a tricky subject when it comes to two people wanting to bond or share a life together. It can be very tricky. And I know from personal experience. And when I was putting this reading together, I just felt this like need to really put across with everybody that they're not alone. 31. Ooh, and then 32. So I don't know if that means anything for you guys. And if you're new here, welcome. If you hear me call out numbers or animals, it's for you to research and look up on your own. And you just put in whatever search engine, the number, angel number, or numerology, whatever you want to look under. You can even add the numbers together. It could be just a sign that you're on the right path. Whatever it is, it's different for everybody. But welcome, 53 and 54. So they told me to put all the cards on the table. 57. What is going on with you guys? Okay. And when they say put all the cards on the table, they want to bring out both cards. So here we go. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to go a little bit dark so you guys can see the words. Okay. So the first card is Paradise. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. And not only that, but you chose this card for your reading, but also the song is Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains. Something echoes in reply, glow. So I feel like that's interesting to me because I want to feel that. And I see the Paradise card, but then I see the Hammer. And that's kind of how I felt when I was putting yours together. And why I feel like you were the one I was meant to talk about, the black and white, because I feel like your relationship is exactly this. It's light or it's dark. It's paradise, and you guys are happy, and there's expansion and learning and joy between each other. There's playfulness, oneness. For some of you, I hear really good sex, like good playfulness in the bedroom, like a lot of cute, like brushing your teeth together, flirting, like cuteness, enjoying each other. And then there's the Hammer. Sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, and working on it. So interesting. So I'm going to give you a second because there were some extra cards that came through, and I just want to see if any of them are for you guys, because I feel like there's like a piece of the puzzle that's missing. And some of you may be watching this right now and going, nope, I totally get it. That makes sense to me, because I'm seeing this from two different ways. I'm seeing the light and the dark of it, but I'm feeling like the sabotage is, I feel like the passion has gone out for some of you. You have insane chemistry, things are good. Like when it comes to everything's great. You like each other equally. You have fun when you're together. Look at having fun. Both, you got having fun right there. But there's a darkness, isn't there? There's some darkness, some luminous, like I feel like the passion's on the floor and the light is on the floor because I feel like the addiction takes over. And that's where I feel like the darkness comes in for some of you. Did you see that energy fly through? Because one of you in the relationship keeps sabotaging the relationship. The sad thing is, the saboteur is the one that needs the love, that needs the light the most. But they like the drama. They like the falling apart because I'm feeling like for some of them, this feels like a masculine energy. So it doesn't matter whatever they identify with. This is just a heavy masculine energy. But I feel like it comes from their family, and it's a heavy masculine energy of the like rebuilding. I feel like they interrogate you. They're the ones that are doing shit behind your back, but then they're always like, where are you? Where are you going? What are you doing? Well, when someone does that, that means that they're the ones that are doing something. And so they're like, well, if I'm doing this, then they must be doing it too. And most of the time when somebody is sabotaging themselves or the relationship, it's because they don't love themselves, and they're very unhappy, and it has nothing to do with you. If they're cheating on you or if they've done shit to you, and let me tell you from personal experience, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And it's usually stuff from childhood. So I feel like the sad thing is, I feel like when you guys first got together, there was a lot of love and happiness and joy and this light and whatever. But then I feel like maybe you were progressing more and they weren't, and whatever, in whatever area of your lives. And I feel like it emasculated them, whoever the masculine energy is in your relationship. And so it just made them have to look at their masculine side more, and it was really hard for them to see. And so also, I'm feeling like the rebuilding part is drama that comes from the family. Like maybe they were so used to a lot of drama, pain, suffering, and fighting, like parents around them. Maybe I also feel like some of them were adopted, or like maybe they were in foster care for a short time, like while their parents couldn't take care of them. Like I'm feeling like this pain in my side almost feels like a hunger pain. Like the parent was, like the addiction was so bad that like they put them in foster care for a while until they figured stuff out, because they, you know, couldn't afford to like feed them both. Like I'm getting this really strong vibe, and this could even be 2 generations ago. It could be from the grandparents, and it's like passed on through the parent. And people forget that, you know, we do have cell memory and cell trauma memory. So this person, I feel like, is a very loving light energy. Like this is true. Like the other things about them are true. You know, like this is true. This paradise energy, like that's true. This is true, you know. But at the same time, this is over here, because this energy feels like they can't. And so they may hammer all the time, like, you know, or bully, you know. I heard something recently where they said when you're bullying, or nagging is a form of bullying. So like maybe you're nagging for them to get sober, or nagging for them to, you know, not work so much, or whatever it is, because whatever they're doing is something that they are feeling like they're lacking in themselves. And so they're like over and above. They're like overcompensating. Does that make sense? I don't know how to say it any other way. Yeah, Spirit said overcompensating. Okay. Let me see if we have any more. Do we have any more? Okay, this one. Oh, 2. Okay, wow. And I'm also, right away when I saw this card, when it says not today, it says not today, not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call person, boundaries, and still angry. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Like this person is like, I feel like on both sides, it's like, here's you in the middle. You're like this loving light person, right? And you're trying to talk to them. And maybe you're even like, hey, remember that passion we used to have? Like, you know, it's like, you're like, remember that when we went to that Bahamas trip together, you know, whatever it is. It's like, remember when we were there and we're like, this is paradise. Our relationship is paradise. And it's almost like they're so afraid of losing you that they like fuck with your relationship incessantly. And it sucks, because you guys do have this beautiful love and this beautiful, insane chemistry. But and you like each other equally, but if they are not ready to deal with the pain and the hurt from their past, you know, and they're avoiding these conversations with you, and they're setting up boundaries, but the boundaries that I'm getting is walls. They're setting up walls around their heart, around your relationship. But you're like, they're inside in the castle and you're outside on the other side of the moat. Like you haven't even crossed the fucking drawbridge. Like, because they're still holding on to so much anger. And here's you, and you're like, hey. Have you ever seen The Sure Thing with John Cusack in Ione Sky? If you haven't, that is your homework for real. Okay, seriously, you need to. No, not The Sure Thing, although that is a really good movie. No, oh, you know, we're the boombox. Oh my goodness, it'll come to me. Anyway, I'll figure it out, and I'll put it in the description box below. But you need to watch that movie, because I feel like this is you right now, and your heart is like the boombox when he's playing their song, you know, because you're saying, listen, I love you unconditionally. And they're saying the sad thing is, like, when you guys first started, they struggled with self-love, but you really loved yourself. Like, you were good. Like, you were golden, actually. And I feel like they fed off of you like a vampire. And now, like, months later, years later, like, there's something like you're not, oh, look at that coming in. See, the angels are talking to you. It's like you've lost your love for yourself. You're trying to look at this oneness, passion, affection, attraction. I mean, come on. You're still holding on to this paradise, but Spirit's like, you know, pink paradise, put up a parking lot. It's like, sometimes the paradise, we don't know what we got until it's gone. And maybe you need to leave this person. I left my husband more times than I literally can count at this point now, in 7.5 years. Like, because I just would get to a point where I'm like, nope, you can't fucking talk to me like that. You can't treat me like that. It's no, even last night, we had a conversation about this, about boundaries, about his past and his family and stuff. And I was just like, listen, I'm trying so hard to hold this together. This could be my reading too, And I was like, I cannot heal, that stuff you got to heal yourself. And sometimes that's hard. That's hard for people to hear. And we can hammer them all we want all day long. We can be the hammer too, right? It's like that old saying, when you become the hammer, everything looks like a nail. Think about that saying for a while, right? Because if the job of a hammer is to only like hammer things and nail things in, it's like everything starts to look like, you know what I mean? I want you to just think about that for a second. 11, 27, and 28, and 30. Very interesting. Ooh, and 11:33. Okay, wow, you guys got a lot of messages. Okay, the snake. Oh my goodness. Okay, competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, and the other woman. Ugh, if you guys do have somebody who's been cheating on you, or if you've been, basically, Spirit says if you think they're cheating on you, you're an intuitive, they are. And it could just be that they're cheating on you. They're really cheating on themselves. It has nothing to do with you, but it might not even be physical. 12/12. Ooh, 12/13. That's my birthday. 12/18. I feel like they just keep going. So they're telling you, like, this is going to keep going like this. It's going to keep going like this. Because I feel like for some of them, it's like they've made you the enemy. It's like you love them the most, And did you ever hear that saying, like, we tend to, like, hurt the people we love the most when we're hurting? Because we know that they're going to love us unconditionally. But you know what? Loving somebody unconditionally doesn't mean you have to fucking, be their nail as they hammer you all the time. You can say, you know what? Not today. And when they start calling you, just be like, I'm not answering my phone. Be like, no, I'm done. Because some people can be really malicious. You don't have to be malicious to part ways, but I'm just hearing, like, looking over your shoulder, the other woman. This is the Island Time Wellness card, the Love Oracle. These cards don't fuck around. That's why when I know a spirit pulls that deck out, I'm like, most of the time we do love readings, we use this deck on my channel. Anyway, so far we use other decks too, but like this one is the no fucking joke. So like if you've been feeling like that, if you've been feeling like they've been doing things, or maybe they're just like, maybe they threatened to leave you, or they, they're like, fine, I'll find somebody else. I don't fucking care. Go. The sad thing is it's all talk because they love you so much. It's like it would kill them if you left. But, sometimes people have to grow up. In the last few weeks after, the retrograde season and eclipse season, whoo, my husband and I, man, we had a lot of come to Jesus moments. We had to. It was non-negotiable. There was too much darkness that was happening all around us. So I'm hearing from Spirit, it's the same for you. You got to face your fears. You got to, confront those things. You can't, if you just keep going in the loop, it'll just keep going in a loop. Because if nothing ever changes, nothing ever changes. And look what's at the bottom of the deck. The dragonfly. Be light-hearted, finding out. Things coming to light. Adapt, change, and heal. So I feel like this is them saying to you too, like, this is no joke. This is your life. This is your life, my friends. This is your life. And I know you'd rather soar and fly into the sky and be lighthearted, and it sucks finding stuff out. I've been there. things coming to light. I mean, Spirit has said recently, we either need to take up and, do what we came here to do, or they will, our higher selves will be like, listen, I know you've been having fun playing human and all, but like, it's time to work. And they will take obstacles out of your way that are stopping you from doing what you came here to do. I guarantee you. So, I feel like that's it for you guys. Let me just make sure. Are there any more messages for reading 2? Nope. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. 1516 and then 1517. I am so sorry. I know it sucks to hear certain things like this, but at the same time, just know that you're not alone and that there's a lot of things that are happening on the planet. And, sometimes we think by staying that we're going to make it better, but it's actually by walking away that's going to make it better, because sometimes people have to fall on their face 100% and hit rock bottom before they can come back. And I'll tell you something, I hope every story is like mine, but as of right now, like my husband and I, we've been through so much together. Could I still find out stuff or something happen? Of course, he's still human here. He still has addictions, but at the same time, we've worked through so much together to get to where we are now. And I feel with, like, before I could always kind of feel that he was like something was off. And now I find myself looking for things. So on the flip side of this could even be a message for some of you that like, they're done with that shit, and maybe you do need to, let them go so that they can like figure it out. And then if you're meant to come back together, you will. It's that old saying, if you set something free and it comes back to you, it's yours, and if it doesn't, it never was. It doesn't mean that it never was. It just means that it was just, they were a teacher, a placeholder, temporary, you know what I mean? Even if temporary was, 20 years. I mean, I've known people who have been in relationships for many, many years, and you just think, oh, well, we've been here this long, let's just keep going. And no, it's like, sometimes it's like, no, that's all you were meant to learn. Move on. Also, this book has been like clawing at me. And this is, I gave this to my husband for our second wedding anniversary the other day. And it's called Yes, You Can. Because I was like, I don't know if we can do this, Spirit. I don't know if we can make it. And so what we did was we created this book, or I created this book for our anniversary. And it's for us to communicate with each other. And we both started writing things to each other. And so when we're having a rough time, it's for us to work through stuff, because we both had really brutal childhoods. And like, we didn't grow up in like the kind of loving environment that we want for ourselves and each other. So sometimes, you have to, and I wouldn't normally share something so intimate, but I felt really drawn to share that with you guys, because, sometimes if you can't talk to each other, you need something in between. And that's what I told him. I said, I think we need a book that we can like talk to each other and say how we really feel without the other person trampling the other, or, So the angels we have heard on high, that's Spirit saying, call out to your angels, ask them for guidance, sit in meditation, go in nature and be quiet and just listen for the answers, because you'll know, if you're meant to stay there or if you're meant to move on. And you know what I mean? Maybe you are meant to stay there and work it out. Maybe you're not, All right, you guys, those are your messages, 1808 and 1809. Lots of angel numbers. Wow. And whichever one's called out to you, you don't have to look up every single one. I'm not going to write these down when they're individual like this. This is like, that's for you to look up, okay? And you just go into whatever search engine and you put in the number and say angel number, and whatever comes up. You can read more than one, whatever feels good. All right, I love you so much. Make sure you take really good care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, blessed be. Oh.